And you will see that if you were to take all the pens and turn them into, all the trees and turn them into pens, and if you were to take the oceans and turn them into ink, and if you were to start writing all the excellence and the virtues and the beauty and the magnificence and the human perfection and the prophethood and the risala and the teachings and the akhlaq and the history and the life and everything about the Holy Prophet ﷺ, oceans will go dry. You can't put it into words. This is what Shaykh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dahlawi rahmatullahi ta'ala said. And then he goes on to explain how this is. And he gives you a few examples. I'm just going to give you a few. He says, firstly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, as magnificent as this universe is, right? As big as this universe is, as amazing as this universe is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, all the goods of this dunya, right? All the material of this dunya, whether it's the sun, whether it's the moon, whether it's the earth, whether it's the oceans, whether it's the fish, you name it. قُلْ مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that in spite of their greatness, and in spite of their vastness, and in spite of the multitude of numbers and capacities and whatever it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, every single, what's the word I use just now? Mata'. Every single goods of the dunya is qaleel, is little. Is very little. But what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. But the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you are great, are absolutely magnificent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عظيم. That, O Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are on the highest standards and levels of the nobility of character. Anything about the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's description of him, or explanation of him, or favors of him, or blessings of him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not in any way diminish that, but in reality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He embellishes it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said every characteristic, every attribute, every beauty of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is of the highest caliber. وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرًا وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. To a point when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you want to know how great this Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, then look at the way I treat him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in spite of him being my created being, in spite of him being from a species that I have created, in spite of the fact that he bows down to me and he worships me and he submits to me, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in spite of me being God, I don't address him directly as Muhammad. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is the honor, right, and the respect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's mentioned the name of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam 4 times in the Holy Quran, plus minus, right? And each time it's in the third person, not in context. But whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam directly, which he never did to any other Nabi, Ya Adam, Ya Musa, Ya Isa, Ya Ibrahim. But to the Prophet of Allah, Ya Ayyuhan Nabi, Ya Ayyuhan Rasul, Ya Ayyuhan Muddathir, Ya Ayyuhan Muzammil. If the Prophet ﷺ enshrouds himself in a blanket, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes it so much that he addresses him with an honorific title, O one who is wrapping his garments. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Oh, who is this man? He's a creation of Allah. But Allah gives him so much of honor. Being God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him such honor. Right? So he goes on to say that, he says that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, everything about the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that no human being, why? No human being and no angel can even diminish and try to encapsulate the praise of the Prophet of Allah. Work out. Quran says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is uncreated. Allah is uncreated. Allah is, His Zat is Qadir. Allah is Wajibul Wujud. He's always been existent and always will be existence. There is nothing like him. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Allah says, يُسَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been constantly, unendingly, unceasingly sending salawat on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can anyone put up a count it, please? يُسَلُّونَ عَلى النَّبِي. Allah. Count it. Write it down. Yalla, 1, 2, 3. Where's our people's counters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All your bean counters. Go ahead. Count it. Yusalluna al Nabi. Just sending salawat, blessings on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From the beginning of the creation of creation till right now. Can you count it? If you were to put oceans to it, put a number to it. That's Allah. Count the malaika in it. Count malaika in it. Show me under any other book. This is the book which is revealed to the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Show me under any other book that has been studied so greatly like the book of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the most common name in the world today? Do you know that? Most common name, meaning is the most frequently taken name on planet Earth. Show me one human being out there whose birthday is celebrated and not birth date, besides the Prophet of Allah. Isa alayhi salam, when is his birthday? 25th of? According to the Roman Catholics. According to the Greek Orthodox, the Byzantine is in January sometime, right? But internationally, everyone celebrates Christmas Day. Well, not Christmas Day, they celebrate Christmas date. Whose life is celebrated more than the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Millions of people fast on Monday throughout the world in commemoration of what? The Prophet of Allah said, it is the day I was born, and it is the day that the Quran was revealed to me. So in honor of that, people fast every Monday, millions of them. Right? People celebrate his life, celebrate his Mawlid every single day of their lives. There's not a single day on planet Earth when somewhere in the world no one is having one Mawlid. No matter how much people may say it's bid'ah, but the point is, there's not one single day on planet Earth when someone is not celebrating the arrival and the advent of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is not one single day on planet Earth wherein constantly 24 hours a day without stop the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not echoed in this entire atmosphere of planet Earth. It starts off from a little island in Indonesia at the time of Salatul Fajr, and with the time span, span from one town to another town and so on, the azan is continuously recited, right, till the next Fajr in next town, and continuously 24/7, 24/7 without a single second of being wasted. Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Show me one instance when you as a believer don't include Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yallah, but why? Why, Yallah? This is your ibadah, this is your worship. This is about us and you exclusively, Allah. Why in the whole thing inside the right through we worship you? Towards the end, as you are about to, Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What was the need for it? Finish the salam, finish the salah, and then say Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi. No, Allah said, no. In my ibadah, including this. When you enter the masjid, Bismillah wa ala millati Rasulullah. When you give him your khutbah, say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. When you're reading your salah, Imam Shafi'i said, if you don't read Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, Imam Shafi'i, according to Imam Shafi'i, your salah is null and void. Your first salah is null and void. Show me one human being whose every single word possible, and mind you, a lot of it has not been recorded, has been recorded so rigorously the way the Holy Prophet ﷺ has been. Show me one human being on planet Earth wherein you'll get such a description about him, yet there's not one single photograph of him. That books had been written. Imam Tirmidhi wrote Shama'il al-Tirmidhi, right? The Shama'il of Imam Tirmidhi, Shama'il al-Muhammadiyya, wherein he describes in absolute minute detail to a point when the Sahaba Kiram sat down and they actually counted the amount of grey hairs in the beard of the Prophet of Allah. Show me one human being that has been so characterized. Show me one human being that they know everything. That Sahaba Kiram would say, one time Sayyidina Usman Ghani radiallahu ta'ala anhu stopped at a certain place, right? And I think he just, if I'm not mistaken, he just walked around, he walked around and he came, what do you do? He said, no, one day I saw the Prophet of Allah in this very shop doing the very same thing. So I just stopped in the middle of the thing and I just did that. Khalas. Why? My Prophet of Allah did it. Why he did it is of no concern to me, but he did it is enough for me. Show me one human being that so much has been written about, and everything that he has said has been recorded so meticulously. Show me one human being. Show me one human being on planet Earth about whom so much of poetry has been written. You know the amount of poetry written in honor of the Prophet of Allah in practically every single language known to man, practically. Bar a few, I don't know about the Brazilian rainforest guys and all that. I'm not too sure about that story. I can't. So that is practically every language. No, really. You know they've done it. You name the language, right? You know which is a common language and a popular language, from Chinese to English to Scottish to Welsh, to Arabic, to Swahili, to Hindi, to Farsi, Urdu, of course, you know what? You get them by the what do you call it? The truckloads. It has to be something. This is why I'm putting up. If you were to sit down to write all of the kamalat and all of the excellence of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in terms of his poetry, of that human beings have written, you'll get tired looking for it. You'll get tired looking for it. And this is what he's saying there. He says, in terms of his sharia, everything, his greatness is beyond comprehension. Mi'raj is something that people haven't been able to understand as yet. It's beyond comprehension. For him as a human being, and I'm getting to that, that's why I'm starting off with this introduction here, because the next verse is one of the most controversial verses in the Holy Quran. And for the life of me, I understand why it's controversial, but for the life of me, I can't understand why people make it controversial. Do you understand? I can't understand why people make it controversial. And really, I'm just going to give you an introduction to this discussion now as we went, because we finished on Kullu Kan Bahim. You've understood the Midad Kalimat Rabbi, right? The whole issue of being Bashar, of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam belonging to the human species. Basically, there are I'm just going to use the word, 4 schools of thought in terms of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam being a Bashar. Not 4, 3, 4, let's make it 4. 4 schools of thought, right? From the sublime to the ridiculous, and really, the what do you call the sectarianism in our community, right? Which has led to so much of dissension, so much of disunity, so much of confusion in the community. Right? You know, I always use, I make it's a sweeping claim. Right? I said internationally, amongst all races, amongst all groups, amongst all religions and whatever it is, the most controversial issue is the issue of God. And in the Muslim community, globally, the most controversial issue is the issue of the prophethood of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's downright shameful. Do you know that? It's really, wallahi, it is downright shameful. And I'll explain to you, let the azan finish. I'll give you the meaning now, you see how this is. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First, let's start off with the concept of Bashar, the word Bashar in Arabic, right? And I'm giving you all the linguists of the Arab world, giving you the definition and the description of what Bashar means, right? One definition is in Bashar means, Bashar generally refers to human beings, whether it is a male or a female. That is the general, when you say Bashar, it refers to the human species and refers to human beings, right? Be they male or female. And if you were to make it a little bit more specific, in particular why it refers to human beings, because the word Bashar actually refers to Zahiru Jildil Insan. Your external skin is what is called Bashar, right? Because most other animals from the animal kingdom do not have skin like you and I do. Most of the skin is covered either with lots of hair or fur or other types of, what you might call it? Stuff. I don't know what to call it. Like skin. Like snakes shed their skin, feathers. Come on, someone, come on. Huh? Scales. Carry on. That's it. Mashallah. Oh, you're wide awake now, right? But the human being is the only human being that has a soft skin and whatever it is and the way it is. Where's our dermatologist? Big Hazrat is there, man. Right? And you know how unique the human epidermis, that's the word, is. right? In terms of its permeability, in terms of its secretion of sebaceous glands, in terms of its regeneration, in terms of sweating, in terms of it being a process of excretion, blah, 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 how it can stretch across and so on, versatility of the skin and whatever it is. So, Zahiru Jildil Insan is actually what is called Bashar, because human beings have this, they are known as, it's called Bashara. Right? It's called that there. Right? Now, Allama Abu Hassan Ali bin Ismail, he also says, he says, Bashar, the word Bashara is composed of the Bashara. And this is the beauty of the Arabic language. You remember in the Arabic language, right? From one word, from one base root verb, you get so many ancillary verbs coming out and words being made from the Arabic basic verbal thing of fa'ala, bashara, right? And what happens is that they turn the words around. So bashara, sharaba. Sharaba means he drank, right? So he says here, one word that comes out of bashara comes ashurb, right? Which means to drink, right? Then he says, and if you were to turn that word, what do you call it, ashurb around, right? You'll get the word ashibr, right? Shibrun means a handspan, a handspan, shibr, right? It means a unit of measurement or a unit of distance, right? Shibr. And he says, if you were to turn the word around again, ashibr, it will become al-arbash, which means composing of many colors. Right? And he said if you were to turn the word around again, it will become al-barsh, which means it's red and black mixed together. Two colors mixed together, red and black in particular, mixed together makes the word al-barsh. Right? And he said, and the word al-bashar refers to human beings, whether it is one, whether it is male, whether it is female, or whether it is in plural. When you say al-bashar, it can mean a single male, it can mean a single female, or it can mean the human species. Inni khaliqum bashar, meaning it refers to the species of human beings, which Adam alayhi salam was the archetype. Right? And then he says, and those that which you have called your skin, which is on top of your head, which is on your ears, which is covering your entire body with the exception of your nails, is called al-bashara. And then he says there, what he says, which is very, very interesting, is that he says, there's another word, I'm just looking for that. Where's that? There's another word for it. If I find it, I'll give it to you. Oh yeah. He says that your external skin is called al-bashar. Inside your skin, where you have your blood capillaries and whatever it is. What do you call that, the inside of the skin? No, huh? The dermis. This is epidermis. Yeah. Inside that piece there, what that's called the dermis, right? That is called al-adama in Arabic, right? So your external, the top part is called al-bashara, the bottom part is called al-adama. Now, see how the word bashar means, right? They state there, he says, when you hear a good news, glad tidings means bashara, right? Then he says there, and when people engage in conjugal relations, they call it mubashara. In conjugal relations, I call mubashara. Why? It's skin upon skin, meaning skin is in friction with skin in conjugal relations, right? Then he says, also when you smile and when you express joy, it is called al-bishr, right? And those clouds which bring about rain, those clouds which move around and bring about rain, they are also called al-mubasharat, right? Al-mubashirat, right? Then and whatever is at the beginning, you call it tabashir, right? And anything that which is beautiful and is very good to look at, you call it al-bashir. Beautiful and good to look at. So everybody has bashar, everybody is bashar, but you'll have somebody who's very beautiful in terms of his skin. Because what makes you beautiful? Your skin. That's what makes you beautiful. Otherwise you take off the skin and you're all like, the sinew and your veins and all of those things. Right? So what makes you, so anyone who's excessively good looking in comparison to everyone average, they are known as al-bashir. Because why? They're good to look at. They put a smile to your face. Right? They are a mixture of different colors. Can you see how I'm using the word? Can you see how I'm using the various interpretation of the word? You know, the mixture of few colors. You know, like some people say the olive skin is the greatest skin. It's a mixture of, you know, between white and brown or Indian or whatever. The olive skin is the most balanced skin. Can you see how the word attributes itself to so many other things? You understand? And also, Bashar, why? You know, when you start to laugh and you start to smile and you're happy, what happens? Blood rushes to your skin and your skin becomes red. Or you blush, or you get, you know, when you laugh a lot or you smile a lot, you go red here. It means that the blood has come to your skin. So what happened? It changes the color of your skin. Didn't you do that? So because it became more red. So didn't I tell you that one of the words, meaning of the word Bashar is also a mixture of. Now what I wanted to put across, can you see from the one word Bashar, how each one connects to the other, yet seemingly they have make no sense. But why is it, and Bashar, what about length? Handspan is literally based on your, when they say balished or the, when they say shibrun, they say shibrun, handspan, literally means again, is attributing something to the skin because the skin stretches. The skin is stretched, so it's also a means of measurement. You know, 1 arm length. You understand? So can you see how the Arabic plays itself? Now can you see the various nuances in the word Bashar? And Bashar for the human being is an honorific title which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted human beings. Because the reason why a human being is called Bashar, fundamentally, historically and philosophically speaking, is that a human being is called Bashar because he was touched by God. Right? You know that story about, what's his name? Michelangelo, and he does his thing there with that Sistine Chapel? No, I was talking about E.T., Baba. You remember E.T. and no, way before your people's time. Your time, not your father's time. Right? Okay? In the Sistine Chapel, he was touched by God. You know when you say mubashara, between when human skin touches human skin, right? Here a human being was touched by God, not to be taken literally now.